I am Oda Nobunaga. I am daimyo. You shall be my samurai. Yasuke, you will help me unify Japan. Go now to the streets. Fight your way up to Takatenjin Castle, controlled by the Takeda clan.
Hello everybody, this is Snarist again, back with a very unorthodox walkthrough. I guess it's kind of hard to call it a walkthrough since it's basically a meme game of Assassin's Creed Shadows. This is Yasuke Simulator, and I kind of love this game. This is a no damage run through the game. And I feel really bad doing commentary right now, keeping the footage muted just so I can watch it and commentate on it, because I think the music in this game is really great. I know it's all AI generated and people feel weird about that, but I personally really love it. It's an example of when you use it correctly and you don't let it carry you. Like a lot of this music, even though it's ridiculous, it reminds me a lot of like old video game music, back when it had character and flavor, and nowadays a lot of music just sounds the same. So it's pretty simple, just keep on moving through, and you know, luckily for the times I played these chapters, I was able to get over a lot of the obstacles and some of the platforming, because the movement can be a little rough. And before I go ahead, this may seem really inappropriate to say so, but I gotta make a quick note, just in case anyone was curious. Before uploading this and the rest of the series, I was going to do Ruby clips and upload my commentary and walkthrough of that, which was already done for about a couple of weeks now. And that was my planned series next. But when I went to go and upload everything, I didn't properly check as it was uploading to YouTube. And it said there was a copyright restriction, and I'm wondering what the heck could it be? Because I like to have intros at the beginning of all my video series. And this one was basically the scene from the Ruby trailer, the Red trailer, where she's fighting the Grim in the snow. And I sped up some of the footage at a certain point to make the intro. But I had Jeff Williams' song "This Will Be the Day" and a small portion of it playing in the background as the background music, and I suppose that makes sense, but that's kind of what did me in. And while I'm not too worried about people like taking profit from one of my videos, like I don't care, because YouTube wouldn't even pay anyone well enough at this point, but just seeing it there, seeing that it's copyright, I would imagine that means that they have claim over the video, meaning they could take it down whenever they want. You know, it's kind of the point of what claim means. So, yeah, I didn't want to risk it. And so now when I upload the rest of my Grim Eclipse walkthrough, it's all going to be without the intro, which is sad, but, you know, I kind of want to get it all out and then something else before Code Vein 2 comes out and My Hero All's Justice. So, yeah, no more intro for Grim Eclipse. It wasn't super great to begin with, but it's still sad. I put a bit of time into that. But going forward, I think I'll pick my series more carefully. So anyway, back to Yasuke Simulator. This game is super funny and super ridiculous. Obviously parodying, you know, all the debating going on about whether Yasuke was a samurai or not. But now I'm going to get into some actual gameplay here, because the whole point of a no damage run is that I'm taking no damage. You can take damage by accident sometimes when it comes to vehicles, but most of the time you're going to take damage from enemies that have weird swings and hitboxes. A lot of the time you can just sort of strafe around them, but other times you can't. You're a lot more accurate when you're aiming down sight, but it can be a little tricky. You know, trying to see where you're going and navigate, because you can't immediately break into a sprint. Although, funnily enough, when you're crouched or you're prone, you can break off into a sprint standing straight up. You know, I wish Code Violet would have learned from that. Oh, God. That game looks way better than this one, and yet somehow they don't figure out that when you have flexible controls like sprinting, proning, and rolling in prone, which is a cool idea, but it implies the gameplay is going to be fast, but it's just not. You can't break up into a sprint, you've got to stand up slowly. And I'll stop talking about that, it's ridiculous. But the further back into other areas you move, when it comes to combat in this game, the more passive the enemies tend to become. It seems to happen randomly, but yeah, try to aim for the head. When they drop bullets, try to pick it up. But there's something else you got to know as well. If you pay attention to the ammo counter, if you manually reload the gun, it throws away all the bullets you have in your magazine and puts a fresh clip in. Meaning, if you empty half of a magazine in a gun, and you reload, you're giving away half of those bullets and throwing them away into nothing. I think it's ridiculous, but the game isn't super realistic to begin with, so I suppose that's fine. It's more of a gripe thing for this challenge run I'm doing for myself. But yeah, just don't ever reload. If you want a full clip ready for a next encounter, just empty your gun and then, you know, have him reload by himself when it gets to 0. But this is probably one of the hardest sections when it comes to trying to do no damage, because you've got to be careful of the Decatur General. You've got to try and find a way to get him to follow you and get him stuck on certain obstacles. Like typically, I've actually done this one time before when I wasn't recording just to prove that it could be done, and I got him caught on that gate there. Just on the edge of, I want to say it's a Tory gate, but I don't want to assume so. But you can always just get him caught on the walls of those stairs there, by the training dummy area. I suppose another way you could do it is to go back and throw all those doors that you smashed open to get through, because I think he might be a bit too tall to get through. But yeah, just get him caught on something and just drop as many bullets into his head as you can. It's going to be pretty close in terms of your bullet count. There's actually quite a bit of history to Yasuke Simulator if you don't know already, if you're pretty interested in the lore behind all this. I'll leave it to chapter 3 because it's basically just one giant car driving section, and yeah, I'm going to speed that one up, but that'll be a good time to give you a brief overview of it. That's the end of this first part. I'll see you in the next one.
To reach Takatenjin Castle, you have to take Nobunaga's bullet train, the Tokaido Shinkansen.